Hi, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Community Focus here on Channel 6 TV. I'm Kenny Fogel, your host. Glad you could be with us tonight as we're counting down to November 6th. That's Election Day. That's the day where you do your patriotic thing and show up to the voting booth and choose your leaders for the next several years. And we do our best here at Channel 6 to bring you those potential leaders, to give you a choice, to let you know who they are, what they stand for, and learn a little bit before you do show up. And I do encourage you to show up on Election Day. A gentleman here with me today, I've known him by several different titles. I know American Legion Commander, Navy Master Chief, and now he wants to be Bardstown Mayor. That's Mr. Frank Thompson. Frank,
glad to be here.
First of all, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to show up. And
I got plenty of time.
Well,
actually, you think I tell everybody I got plenty of time. I'm retired, but as I told one of your competitors, Sylvia, I said, "Look, I'm trying to stay busy." I says, because I know I watch my dad. If I slow down, I'm gone. But I got to try to stay busy.
Well, you have stayed busy. Like I said, I know you've been involved with a variety of veterans issues. You and I have worked together on television shows and lining up veterans to be on, do these interviews. And it caught me off guard. I mean, matter of fact, I'd been with you earlier that day, and later that afternoon, I get a phone call from somebody saying, you know, Frank Thompson filed to run for mayor. I said, didn't say a word to me about it. I've been with him all day. I said, so what happened?
It was a late decision. It was about 2:30 when I had the people meet me at the courthouse. I was looking at the mayor's race, and there was nobody competing with him, and I thought, let's give somebody a choice. You know, let's look at this deal and let everybody have a choice. Mm-hmm. You know, it's great to say that I was unopposed and I'm doing this and I do that, but well, let's let the people say whether you're doing a good job or not. So a lot of the people want to know if I could run a city. Well, just give you a little background. I was company chief and acting company commander for a 275-man horizontal construction company in the Navy, which was maintenance, operations, training, admin, and personnel. I did that for 3 years, working with budgets and everything, and then I went to be the battalion's command master chief for 726 people. So I have leadership ability there, so that's where that came from. One of the things I'd like to see is the city embrace our veterans more than they have. Mm-hmm. I know I've been working on a veterans booklet for Veterans Day with the paper, and I just got notified today from a guy that the library wants a copy of my flash drive before I take it to, well, she wants a copy of what I'm taking to the paper, down the genealogical section at the library. I said, well, I've got that. I'm running 2 flash drives. Uh-huh. So I've got that. And I want to see, you know, with that, and I want to see our old people taken care of. I've got a situation right now where my mother's getting ready to go into an assisted living facility or something even worse. And I want to see our older people get taken care of. And I want to see stuff for our kids. We've got a town here that's got nothing in the world for the kids to do after they get out of school. I say we've got some place we could put a putt-putt golf course in. We could have a bicycle motocross or even a light motocross. I was approached by one of the people and says, well, why don't we bring back them summer softball leagues that the city used to have years ago? I said, you know, that's a good idea. Give everybody a chance to do it. I know this town used to embrace sports. There used to be a parachute center here in town. There used to be gliders out to Wazoo. I mean, we had gliders going all over the place, and they used to have the radio-controlled jets over Kentucky here, and they were asked to leave, or they left. And I said, but there's really nothing for the kids to do anymore. So we've got the property out there, and let's do it. Let's get the town involved in the sports.
Well, on a related note to that, I mean, just with the kids, because I think that's where we usually say the problem is. It's not necessarily the problem, but in the military, you had to deal with this a lot, is drug issue. And drugs was rampant in the military, and it's basically rampant in our community.
Right. When you don't give the people another option for their life, the drugs are there, and that's quick. If they get tied up into, such as I am, I'm tied up in a shooting sport. You don't have time to take drugs or anything. You've got to worry about getting better. And it's any other sport. When you're trying to get good at sports, you really don't want to try to get into the drug program, you know, into the drugs. So let's give them an option of doing that. I know it's the Navy and all the branches of service are fighting. Of course, right now if you're a smoker and a drinker in the Navy, you're you're very rare, because they do random urinalysis, and they do random breathalyzer tests. So they don't like drugs and they don't like drinking anymore. So, and we got to look at that as far as what our younger people are and our older people that are coming out of the military. They're not used to having a place to go sit and drink and not anything else to do. One of the best things for right now at the Guantanamo Bay Naval Base is they have their morale, welfare, and recreation department going big time with sports and stuff to keep those people occupied. Because that's a good place you could get that stuff in. Excuse me, get that stuff in, and so you want to keep that away from the people. You want to keep them all straight doing their job. You know, like this city, we've got a police department that seems to be working very well in our town now. Parks and recreation, we really need to do something more. There's a ball field, I think, sitting over there behind City Hall. I ain't seen nobody played in years. Right across the street from 2 other ball fields, but nobody's there. Got stands there now, but nobody playing. But I'd like to see the community get involved. And one of the things I would do if I became mayor, I was asked by a gentleman that you just interviewed, Ralph. He says, if you make mayor, you're gonna still come over and have coffee with us. I said, yeah. I said, I don't see it changing my routine that much. I said, I'll go out and would like to approach the radio station about having a monthly call-in show. And then if that, maybe having a one night a month where they could come and visit the mayor, talk to, what do you want? Let's find out what you want. Yeah. I know that was very successful in Louisville some years ago. When people have a chance to talk to their leaders, they really get, they get involved in the community. So I'd like to see that,
Well, I know you've been involved with the drug issue. You've been involved with personnel. Obviously, one of the biggest things with the city of Barstow is the budget, taxes, and all of that. I'm sure you guys have some ideas there.
Yeah, I would like to go back and look at all of the departments and see if there's any way that they could save money. There's got to be ways that we're saving money. We spend a lot of money, and whether we're spending it accurately or not, but let's take each department and say, look, let's go back and see if we can do a 5% cut. If 5% is not much, if we can find some way to save 5%. And it's just like, with that budget and everything, we just like, you don't want to have to raise property taxes on anybody, because the first thing that happens, somebody gets a pay raise and somebody decides they want to raise the taxes. No. So that's what we want to see. We want to take a look at the budget, see what's out there. And another thing I'd like to look at is take a look at our cable TV system. I'm right now with the expanded basic and internet, which is not the fastest one, but I'm paying over $103 a month. Yeah. And I would love to be able to go in and cut out all the sports channels, because I don't watch sports. I like movie channels and other stuff, but I really don't.
Now, it's isn't for everybody. It's sort of like a cafeteria plan.
Cafeteria.
I'll make that clear. You're not cutting out everybody's sports channels.
No, just say, if you want to do this, it's just like you go to DirecTV. You can buy a sports package. Yeah. Or you can buy a movie package. But no, we look at maybe make it up to your decision what you want to buy from them. Instead of here, we've got this and we're going to add this and this. But make it your decision. So if you want this package and you want to have all the sports networks, great, have it, buy it. But if you don't want that, no sense to me, because I go through them. I don't need them on my channel, so I go through them. But just make it up to you how you want your cable TV, and and it's different little small things like that. I know our fire department's doing a good job. They keep up. We've got one of the good friends of mine that's from the American Legion's doing volunteer with them, who's a retired fire chief from up north, and they're doing good things. And we've got a city here that's beginning to do good things, and I'd like to see it get even better.
Well, you've been in leadership positions, and obviously as a mayor, it's not just leading the city, you got to lead a city council. And usually it's 6 people, very political, very big egos, and all of them have different ideas of what needs to be done. How do you work with a city council?
You work with the city council like you do when you're running a company. You take everybody's vision of what they want to do and see if you can't work it in some way or another. I've noticed that some of the interviews I've seen, I at least know 1, maybe 2 of the city council members thinking the same way I think. And I have no idea, I had no idea that's the way they thought until I saw their article. But that's the thing of it is, you can go through there, you say, look, here's what we need, here's what you want. Let's figure out a way to do it. And that's what you do, and that's what the city council's for. It's not to rubber stamp somebody's where we're going to do this. What do you think we need? Can you sell us onto this? Have a city councilman come, well, I'd like to see this. Well, why do you need this? Why should we do this? And then if the consensus of opinion is that's the way to go, then that's the way we should go.
Yeah. Well, and also you're going to have to work with the county. And over the past several years, whether under a previous administration, there was a split of services, whether it's the fire department, recreation. I mean, is there a way that these things can merge together or work together, or should they be on their own?
I think sometimes they should, but it's really nice to sit back and look at it. I know the county fire department section of it's sort of upset that they don't have that when they got spun off. But look, we got to take a look at it. Let's go back and see the county fire chief, the city fire chief, and see what's going on. Is it better to come back together or is it not? But let's just don't make a random decision on it. Let's do some studies on it. I know there is talk in the city of building a couple of more firehouses. I know there was one that's supposed to have been going over on Parkway Drive, but that little situation, from what I understand, fell through a couple of years ago. But for coverage, for fire department coverage, we've got the one on 245 now that'll have, I think, 1 or 2 engines in it. And the one downtown, I said, but you know, we still got a lot of town out there, and you really need to be within at least 5 to 10 minutes of a firehouse for good adequate coverage.
One of the other things too is obviously Bardstown is growing tremendously, but the unemployment rate right now is down extremely low. But the thing is, and we're still getting in more industry. So. Is there a point where we stop recruiting and just?
That's what we've got to look at right now. And talking with our state senator and our state representative, Chad and Jimmy Higdon, he says the state has spent about $8.5 billion in bringing industry down. He says our problem in the state of Kentucky, we've got the jobs, we don't have the people to fill them. And we're not enticing the people to come in and fill them. That's just like the people at the American Greetings when it closes out. Some of them are going to take the time off, but now there's some of them they go to work, but they're not going to be making quite to start off with. But you know, we've got jobs out there, we've got plants there, but you can't find them. Of course, and also with that situation, we've got people that coming out in the millennials that when they go to work, they're used to playing games, and when they're done with that game, that work job, we take that one out, and put a new game in, and we go someplace else. And I was talking to one of the friends of mine that works over at Tower. He says, 30 days, that's generally what our guy lasts. He said they come in and they work 30 days and they're gone. But we've got to figure out some way to maintain this. Do we have to do we need to try to get more benefits to the deals? Because I know when I first started to work, you were lucky to have health insurance. At that time, it was catastrophic health insurance. You paid for your own doctor. Of course, now you and I are in the situation that the government takes care of us, but that's not what they promised originally.
Well, times have changed considerably, and attitudes have changed.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they talk about soft skills. Young people don't show up to work, or they don't do this. But you know, young people's attitude and the attitude of somebody our age is different.
Yes.
Because we were taught to do it that way, but they, like you said, they show up, get their job done, and go home.
That's
They
right.
don't stick around for the coffee break.
That's like I was in Walmart this morning, and they right at about 8 o'clock or so, there's a change in shifts, and they were putting some fruit up, and the group was there, and most of those were young. There was 1 or 2 that was middle aged, but most of them were young, and they were having a blast. They seemed to be enjoying their job, and that's what a lot of these people make it where the person has an enjoyable job.
Yeah.
Just to make it a drudge, make it to the point that when you go into work, you'd be happy to go in there because you like the people you're working for. I was working before I retired for a company that it wasn't a job so much as it was an adventure. I mean, I was to keep all the trucks running and turned into trying to keep the dewatering plant running, and that was a job too. And
Well, I know city government there's programs that's in place that some work, some don't. But I guess what I would like to know is exactly what do you think city government's function is? I know right now they started a new thing where they're supporting charitable organizations, the Stephen Foster Drama Association, and they're doing things like that. But is that the function of government or what?
That shouldn't be the function of government. The function of, I look at the mayor of the city of Bardstown, their function, the mayors and the city councils, is to take care of the residents of the city. What do they need? Now, if you want to have, later on, somebody wants to decide to get into these other programs, then maybe we could go, but it's not a part of the city government to do that. You know, my deal, I'm somewhat of a libertarian. Government, get out of my way and let me do things. And that's the way a lot of people believe. If the better the government can get out of your way and let you progress, the more it'll work. Mm-hmm. But that's just one of the ways I look at the things, because it's just like in the military. An officer come and tell me, he says, I need to get this done. And that was all he said. He says, I need to get this done. And it was up to me to figure out how to get it done. So I'd go down and to the guy that was going to do it. I said, we need to get this done. Well, how do you want me to do it? I said, you figure out how you want to do it. You're the one that's going to be doing the job. You figure out how to do it. Mm-hmm. And then once he gets it done and straight back, I tell him, go up to Skipper or whoever. I said, it's done. And our troop here was the one that had the idea, and he gets the praise for it.
Yeah. Well, that was my next question, is your management style. And it does very, very much tailor along the military style. Right. Is more of a delegation down the chain of command.
That's, hey, why, somebody says, what's your management style? I said, basically my management style is I'm basically lazy. And the guy said, well, what do you mean by that? I says, I don't want to do all the jobs. I have this department head, this department head, this department head, have all the department heads. You're there, you do your job. You tell me what you need, and we'll look at it. And if you need something, come to us, let's talk. Maybe we can figure out a way to do it, or maybe we don't need that. We just need to do it a different way.
Yeah.
But that's what you let the younger people, or you let your people in there do their job. Don't be the guy that says, well, we're going to do it this way, and it has to be done this way. Here's the job. Let's do it. If you figure out a better way to do it than I have, more power to you.
Well, you spent several years away from Kentucky, obviously, traveling the world with the Navy. So when somebody comes up to you now and says, well, Frank, I don't know you. Who are you? How do you answer that question as you introduce yourself?
Introduce myself, it'd be that way. I'm a Kentuckian at heart. I come from both sides of the Civil War. My great-grandfather was a Confederate soldier. My grandfather didn't serve, but my father was a first-generation CB. He was one of the originals. And it's just, look, I've had offers to move other places, and I'm still here. Yeah. I came to Bardstown in 75. Yeah, I came to Bardstown. Somebody said, well, why'd you come to Bardstown? I said, I got tired of driving back and forth to Louisville when I was going out to Parachute Center. Like I said, we had a Parachute Center here bringing people in, and it theoretically got run out of business. And two or three other things. We had a pistol club here in town, private pistol club, and it got asked to leave. So, so it's just things that people decide they don't want to do anything.
So if somebody, if before we get out of here, is there anything that people need to know about you that they don't know or should know before they go to the voting booth?
I tell you what, if you want to see what I'm about, just go to Facebook. Frank Thompson 1 on Facebook is my personal Facebook page, or you can go to Frank Thompson for Mayor of Bardstown, my campaign page. If you got anything, just message me and I can answer you. If not, my phone number's on both pages. Give me a call, and I'll try to do it. Like I said, I get 3 or 4 calls from people. What would you do? And I try to explain to them what I would do. And it's nice to work one-on-one with people, and that's what I really enjoyed about the military. Even as my office door when I was a company chief, and when I was command master chief, my office door stayed open. Mm-hmm. The only time the office door was closed was when I had a serious conversation with somebody that nobody else needed to know about.
Well, from personal experience dealing with a lot of people over the years, military people don't make great politicians because you don't really know how to be, you don't know the political game.
You don't know the political game, and that's one of my assets, I hope, is I'm not a politician. I have people say, well, now you're a politician. I said, no, I'll meet and greet, but I'm not a politician. I'm not out there to be somebody. I've already claimed that I am somebody when I was invited back to be a guest speaker at a CB Ball in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, 3 years ago, so I don't need to go any farther. So I don't need anything else to get my ticket punched. Cause
Do you have any political promises you'd like to make?
not right now, because I don't know what's going on. And that's the kicker of the deal. I don't want to make any promise that I can't keep.
Yeah.
And that's just the thing of it is. I want to look at it. There's some things I'd like to do. But like I said, one of the things I'd really like to see is something for our kids to do. Mm-hmm. I've had even grown-ups said, man, if there's a putt-putt around here, I'd be on it all the time. I said, why don't we have one?
Mm-hmm. Well, Frank, I appreciate you stopping in here today. We wish you all the best, and hopefully we get the word out and let people know who you are before they go into the voting booth. And
I hope they do. And I said, like I said, go to my Facebook page, both of them, the mayor page and my personal page, and you'll see who I am. I'm nobody. It's there who I am because I'm me. I don't put a front.
Well, as Frank's got on his shirt here, freedom is not free, and it's got a price. It does have a price, and that price is very, very small price, but it will take a little bit of your time, and that's showing up on Election Day, November 6th, and going to the voting booth and making your selection. And it's not a hard price to pay, but if a lot of people choose not to do it, but if you want to be a patriot, you want to participate in the government, you want to be one of these people that doesn't complain, well, government doesn't work for me, or, it's not no use. It's your choice. You make the choices. Those are the people that go into office, and Frank's offering himself up and telling you where he stands for today, and we're going to be here every day just about, and telling you every other candidate. So Frank, we appreciate you taking the time out to come in here today, and appreciate you putting yourself on the ballot.
I'm a great guy that believes in the government system. Vote for who you want, and don't let people buffalo you. I know we've got candidates out there right now that are shaking hands, and I said, I've got my people coming in. I'm getting my signs out slowly but surely because I'm generally one-on-one with my signs. So, and the nice part about my sign is I didn't come up with the design. One of the co-owners for the radio station did.
Well, all right, Frank Thompson running for Bardstown City Mayor. So give him a look, and again, it's up to you. November 6th, Election Day. Stick around. A lot more to come here on Channel 6 TV. I'm Kenny Fogle, your host. We'll be right back right after this.